Hello Internet, and welcome to this episode of Seriously Sick Synth Sounds. Today's synth is gonna be some sort of 8-bit glitchy electro house bass, and it's really hard to explain, so I'm just gonna give you this little audio demo of the patch we'll create, and it sounds a bit like this. Alright, let's get started. Okay, well, all this patch is a Thor really, and this Thor has two oscillators, and in the first stage of this bass line I'm only using one of them. So the first stage sounds like this, and then the second stage sounds like this. So let me just solo this one. And the change in sound comes from the activation of the second oscillator, which is automated here and represented here in the sequencer lane. Okay, first oscillator is just a simple square wave with full pulse width, and then the second oscillator is a square wave with a pulse width of 70, and that's 2 octaves about the over the first oscillator, which gives it a nice overtone. I then routed that into the filter, but the filter doesn't really do anything, so you might just as well bypass it. I then sent that into a shaper just to give that some distortion, and in fact, now talking about the sound processing, I'm just going to deactivate all these effects, so that leaves us with the raw sound, which sounds like this. Very basic. So as I turn this shaper on and off, you'll hear that it adds just a tiny bit of high end and clarity. Nothing too special really, that might just as well be achieved with EQ, I guess, but yeah. Then there's a Scream 4 here, but I didn't use that, so might just as well bypass it. The next thing I did was add a vocoder. I put this vocoder in equalizer mode, and people keep saying if you turn it into equalizer mode and don't change the bands, well, I kind of did change the bands, it doesn't do anything, but it does do quite a lot. For some reason the signal routing or the processing in this vocoder makes stuff really, really weird, and just to demonstrate, I'm just gonna turn all these bands to neutral. By the way, I did that by holding down the Command key on a Mac and then just sweeping over them. Command is always the button to reset knobs and faders and values in general to their default state. Alright, so I'm going to turn this on and reset all these buttons and knobs, and now you can hear the difference as I turn it on. So here's the raw wave, and then here's the processed wave. So you can hear it adds some sort of boxiness or resonance or some sort of warmth and washiness. I don't know really how to describe it, but yeah. Anyway, it's really nice for shaping the sounds. So what I did was adjust the frequency bands here. I set that to 8-band mode to bring out this band 5 and 6 a little bit. So I'm guessing that's around the 3K hertz maybe, I don't know. And then I also brought the shift knob all the way up, and what that does is basically, yeah, it shifts the formants upwards. So as you can hear, it adds a tiny bit of high end, and that's really nice. What I did next was add a Scream 4, and this is also set to tape mode with quite the high damage control, 96, and the speed and the compression are full. Also, I cut a tiny bit of the mids, so that just clears the sound up much farther. And adds some really, really nice compression. Okay, then I added a compressor and a stereo imager, and I'm using the stereo imager as a high-pass filter. As you can see, this solo high band button is on, and therefore everything below 217 Hertz is filtered out. I have a separate sub-bass patch which I'll be working with later on in this tutorial. Okay, so now I'll activate the sidechain, because the red drum number 4 here in my sequencer, I should actually put those next to each other. The red drum number 4 is the sidechain source for this compressor. As you can see, it's a typical sidechaining setup. Full input gain, low threshold, intense ratio, like infinite, highest ratio possible, zero attack, full release, and then output gain just to neutralize the input gain. Yeah, so now for those of you wondering how I did these glitchy effects, especially this upper thing here, basically what I did was in the MIDI editor, if you zoom in really closely, you'll see that these notes up here, they are very, very short, 28 ticks. So that's, yeah, that's very, very short. And if you put these in really rapid succession, as you can see here, I've got a low note, high note, low, 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 2 high notes, and then a lower note. Gives these nice, like, glitchy chiptune effects. And the key here is to, you know, as so often in electronic dance music, sometimes less is more. And yeah, I'm working with a lot of gaps in between the notes, which gives it the funky effect. So and you can also hear the sound is very, very dry. I didn't add any reverb, delay, nothing. Okay, that's the upper part of the bass, and then I've also got this sub bass here where I just copied the notes. By the way, this other lane up here is basically, it's muted, as you can see. It's my other approach, but I didn't really like that. I went for the more minimalistic thing. So yeah, another Thor, and you've probably seen me do this often enough. It's just a single sign, unfiltered, didn't really change anything in this initialized Thor, just added a sidechain. And as these two play together, you probably can't hear it if you're not listening on very, like, bass capable systems like proper studio headphones or good monitors, but it's there and it helps. And it's mandatory, in fact. Then for the other fills, I added this Thor. And I'll go over that in the next tutorial if you want. Please let me know in the comments whether you're interested in hearing how to make this synth. And then also here is, yeah, just some 8-bit thing which I did by yeah, also I can also do a tutorial for that one. And then here, yeah, anytime I have a break in this main bass line, basically, I just threw random Thors in there that had different patches and basically try to fill out the gaps. And then if you add the drums, it sounds like this. So yeah, there's your electro bass line. Again, if you want any of these patches explained, just let me know in a comment. Thor number 4 is this chord thing. Thor number 7 is this, hold on, this thing, some sort of other chiptuney sound. And then Thor number 8, I don't think we have to cover that once more. I mean, yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, subscribe, enjoy.